What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are going to be talking about the brand new Kuma event, which is currently live on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. The Kuma event is actually, it's a relatively tricky event, so make sure when you come over to Extra Island that you go ahead and, first of all, farm up this Gecko Moria. He is very easy to beat. You can beat it with double buggy and a bunch of specials that do lots of damage, like Treasure Map NL and Treasure Map Zoro. You can just clear it very, very easily. I didn't want to make a separate video for this because it just is quite a simple event. But once you max this Gecko Moria, you can then use that Gecko Moria against this Kuma, and it helps on stage 2 of the fight. So that's what I would suggest heading into it. But in today's video, I have 4 separate teams for you guys that are able to take on this event. So it is a 60 stamina, 9-star difficulty event. You can drop skill books for the character, and the character does require his own limit break orbs. I believe he needs 14 or 15 of these limit break orbs, so make sure you get farming and collect those orbs. Also, you do get gems for maxing out the special of the new Bartholomew Kuma and also the Gecko Moria from Chopman Mission, so make sure to go ahead and get them maxed out, because then you can actually get to, extra gems for it. So before we get into the event today, I want to go ahead and quickly talk about both of these new characters. First of all, we've got the brand new Gecko Moria. So this one from the event has a special ability on a 9-turn cooldown. It will actually deal 1,000 fixed damage to all enemies, and then reduces the crew's paralysis, attack down, and chain multiply growth rate by 3 turns. For a 9-turn cooldown, it's actually a pretty good special. He does need quite a few skill ups there, but definitely well worth it. And then the other character, of course, is Bartholomew Kuma, who I just completed maxed out before, and he is actually pretty interesting. So he's got an 11-turn cooldown, and his special will go ahead and reduce the crew's special bind and chain lock by 3 turns. And then for characters that have 40 cost or lower, they get 2 times color affinity for 1 turn. He also has the crewmate effect that resists 3 turns of special bind, so he's one of those really good characters that you can use to just get rid of 3 turns of special bind, on top of allowing you to remove chain lock and giving color affinity. Like, this character's, again, just a pretty good free-to-play unit. So, again, make sure to max these 2 out. They're going to be very, very useful for upcoming content, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the 9-star Kuma difficulty event. So jumping into this video, we have 4 different teams, as I mentioned as well. First team here is going to be utilizing the brand new Sugo Fest exclusive Sugar. Of course, I'm going to be using the brand new Sugo Fest exclusive that I just pulled for today. If you guys haven't seen it yet, definitely go check out my Sugo Fest video, which was uploaded a little earlier today. It was good fun, so make sure you go check it out if you haven't yet. But this was, I wouldn't say it was challenging, but it was just kind of interesting to kind of understand how this character works and trying to team build correctly. I did try out a very similar team prior to this one actually working, and I actually found that utilizing the friend Captain Sugar to allowing that one to give us those toy soldier effects worked a little better. Also on the side of the screen, you should be able to see exactly what all of these effects are, and as I did mention, that Gecko Moria is really good for this stage on stage 2, because Moria just removes every single debuff that gets inflicted here. So that's why I would suggest to get him max before getting into this event. It just makes it a lot easier. But yeah, as I mentioned, utilizing Sugar is very interesting, and you'll see that when you activate the toy soldiers, that the toy soldiers actually attack with a certain attack pattern. I guess I'll kind of expand upon it when I get to my showcase video, which I don't know when that's going to be uploaded at any point. It's going to be uploaded sometime this week, so I'd say definitely look forward to it. But anyways, moving forward, we have Battle 4. We have the Bartholomew Kuma again. We have a little bit of a layoff period here on stage 3, where we've got some turtles and some raccoons that we can stall on, which is great. But here on Battle 4, which is going to be coming up after this, is Kuma once again. He has a little bit higher HP this time. He's preemptive, has full immunity, and he inflicts bind to your top row characters for 5 turns. And he also has 3 turns of % damage reduction, which is why I have Colosseum Komurasaki here to remove the bind and also get rid of the damage reduction, as well as give us quite a few matching orbs, which is really key as well. And if you leave Kuma alive on the first turn, he's going to blow away your captain for 2 turns, which obviously is not ideal. And if you get him below 50%, he's also going to go ahead and blow away one of your crewmates, but it's permanent blow away, so again, you got to be very careful. But then eventually, when you do kill this Kuma, he is going to inflict 8 turns of burn to your side of the field, which is not great, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. The thing about it is Legend Smoker is the most ideal captain to use here. Well, that's what they are aiming you to do here, because Kuma, basically, when he inflicts the burn to your team, if you've activated the Smoker special prior to killing him, the burn actually cannot be applied to your side of the field, which is the ideal situation here. And you see that we do use Pudding. We use Pudding to store the orb boost from the super type special Sugar, which obviously we don't have to do because we have the other Sugar, but because we turn the other Sugar into a toy, it actually makes it a lot easier by having the combination of Pudding and then also Weevil. I will admit that if you have Legend Pudding, it does make this fight a lot easier, and people are going to say, you know, oh, Legend Pudding, you said she was really, really bad, but, you know, this piece of content, honestly, is built perfectly for Pudding. Because you see here on the final boss stage, everyone gets special reversed by 1 turn, which Pudding can reduce the cooldowns of your characters. Block orbs, which Pudding also changes them into matching. And then if you've used a boost in the prior stage, you can just bring it into this turn as well. So the fact also is you get given 8 turns of attack down, which if you've used Legend Smoker special, then it doesn't really matter because you don't have that attack down inflicted. But we have Edward Weevil to remove 20 turns of the attack down, as well as giving our team an attack boost. So the combination of Pudding and that Weevil are just exceptional. So if you have both of those characters, it does make team building a lot easier here. So moving on to the next team is a Soba Mask team. So with this team, we once again have the Gecko Moria to help us get rid of those debuffs on Battle 2. And then we've also got Edward Weevil, which is going to be a very key unit on the final stage. And then we've also got Treasure Map Robin. She's very good for this fight as well. Helps a lot on Battle 4, where we get binded for our captains, and then also the enemy has 3 turns of % damage reduction, which a Robbie can actually remove the bind and the damage reduction on top of that, which is fantastic. And then we've also got the 2 Soba Masks, of course. They're really good captains. And we also have V3 Cruzan. You don't need V3 Cruzan specifically. You can just change him for any other color affinity booster that is also a quick unit. That doesn't really matter what character you have in that position there, but you know, whatever you want to run, it'll work quite fine there. Soba Mask does get through this quite easily, I will admit. So if you have Soba Mask, then this team is actually very easy to build because, as I said, you don't have to have Cruzan. You can replace him with any other color affinity booster. So you could literally just build a free-to-play team with the double Soba Mask captains, and it's going to get through this quite fine as long as you're activating the specials at the right time. Now, the really interesting thing here with this team is that it doesn't kill the final stage in 1 turn. It does take a little bit of time to, you know, just allow your specials to be ready, which is fine. You know, a lot of teams that I have seen do, you know, just take their time on the final boss stage, enabling them to either tank a hit or have some healing to mitigate some of the damage that you'll be inflicted with. But other than that, it's not really too bad with Soba Mask. So anyways, I'll leave you guys with the rest of this clip and we'll pick things up when we talk about the next team. So now the next team is utilizing Legend Carrot. This was the exact team that I used to farm Bartholomew Kuma. I found this to be the fastest team for clearing this event. Unfortunately, the new batch characters don't get a reduction of cooldown at all for this event, unfortunately, so it does make them not as ideal. So any type of character that can help you get reduced cooldowns is going to be super good here, which Legend Carrot obviously provides, that being arguably the fastest captain still in the game. So yeah, Legend Carrot alongside Edward Weevil and Legend Pudding, that combination, as I mentioned, is just absolutely deadly for this fight. And then we've also got Rare Recruit Kaku, who's going to be kind of our replacement for the Gecko Moria on this team, because we're going to be using his special on this stage to remove the attack down and the paralysis. Obviously, the chain debuff, it will still stand, but it's not really going to be as significant as attack down and paralysis, so not a problem there at all. And then having Luffy and Law is also going to be great because they have their amazing switch effect, which give them a huge attack boost. So even if you do get very, very unlucky and you don't get any matching orbs, which is... It doesn't happen often when you're using Legend Carrot, but if it does happen, it won't matter because the matching orb on Law with his 2x attack boost is going to be more than enough to take down Bartholomew Kuma, which is fine. Okay, so then moving on to this stage, we're going to be switching into Luffy Law again, so that when we move into stage 4, we can switch back into Trafalgar Law. Interesting thing here to note is that we actually do not use Legend Carrot Special at all throughout this run, which is interesting, because what we're going to be doing is utilizing the Trafalgar Law Special here on this stage, and then we can use Pudding to store that orb boost, and then we can use the Pudding Special again on the stage 5, which for all of that magnificent buffs that she'll provide, and then Edward Weevil to remove the attack down, give us the attack boost. We also do have the support of Raid Zora attached to Edward Weevil to give our slasher characters a 1.3 color affinity boost, which every single character on this team is a slasher except for Legend Pudding, which is fine. We don't really need her for damage. We're using all of our other characters for damage, all of which are quick slashes, and then you've got Edward Weevil, which is just, you know, he's just kind of there to provide all his amazing effects. But honestly, this is probably the fastest team, or one of the fastest teams for this event, so if you have the applicable characters, I would highly suggest running it. But I guess we'll pick things up once we get to the final team of the video. So final team of the video is going to be using Legend Bullet, my boy Douglas Bullet. This team utilizes once again Gecko Moria for his amazing effects. We have Orobi for her effects on stage 4, and then we do have Treasure Map Big Mom, and we also have Rare Recruit Marco. Now interestingly, after utilizing this team, I would probably suggest you don't have to have Marco on the team. I would say that if you have what's his face, Edward Weevil, you could actually use him instead, because that's one of the main things about this team as to why it kind of performs the way it does, is that this team actually utilizes a lot of stall. However, you can make the team faster by just cutting out Marco, putting in Edward Weevil, for example, so that you can get rid of all of the attack down on the final boss stage, rather than using Marco for only a little bit of attack down removal, and then taking some turns to stall. You can just use Edward Weevil, use his special, or even use Big Mom's special, then Edward Weevil, whichever combination you want, and then you could use the Bullet special on the last stage as well, which is how this team basically wins. But in terms of damage output, no problem whatsoever. Even though the final boss does have like 20 million HP, the fact that you don't get inflicted with normal attacks only does make Bullet a pretty viable option for fights, and that goes without saying in basically any fight. If there's no normal attacks only and they don't react to any health cuts, then boom, Legend Bullet's going to be pretty much your go-to in a lot of cases, right? And this is one of those cases where you can definitely do that. So if you've got Legend Bullet, this is just one example of a Legend Bullet team, but there are plenty of like different options. There's a plethora of options that you could use in order to take down this Kuma event. One thing about Bullet though is that his cooldown is naturally quite high, so no matter what, you will have to do a little bit of stalling, unfortunately, which is why I went for Carrot instead, which is a little bit faster. But at the end of the day, as long as you are clearing the content, as long as you are maxing the special ability of the Kuma, that's really all that you need to do. So I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and definitely stay tuned to the channel, as hopefully sometime soon I will be uploading my Colosseum Gukimaru video. I haven't, as of me recording this, I haven't played through a single fight of it yet, so hopefully it doesn't go down too badly, but I guess we'll see how it goes. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.